Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your co-host, Mike Smith, along with Aaron Glandon. Dan Ramey is on assignment today. How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good, Mike. How was yours?
Okay.
You said it was eventful?
Well, not too. We're usually trying to track down scores and things like that at different times of some of them come across quick and some of them don't.
Right.
Which those are the ones that before you go to bed at 11:30 or midnight, you're still looking for a few, and some of them don't come until the next morning. So that's a little frustrating sometimes tracking all that down, but it is what it is. It's part of the biz, which we've been doing for many moons. But hopefully everybody had a great weekend. The Snowmageddon, the first of 24, was not for us, thank God. The little bit of snow that we did receive, it was gone almost instantaneously. Although I noticed, of course, many people know I live in Frankfort. We went to Washington Courthouse, and I think it snowed a good deal more over there than it did in Frankfort.
I think it did.
Because when we went into one of the business parking lots, there was a pile of snow in a couple of locations of the parking lot, like they'd snowplow had pushed it up against the light pole, which kind of surprised me that short a distance that we had that much more snow over there than we did in Ross County.
I was a little bit north, and it seemed like there was enough to have a snowball fight.
Yeah. Of course, the areas that got hit the worst, as we can pop up our weather, was up in the northeast United States. Here's the next round of weather that's coming our way, and it's dealing more with rain and wind. This was something I grabbed from the National Weather Service last night, talking about the Ohio Valley region for Tuesday and Wednesday. Winds up to 35 mile per hour Tuesday afternoon and stronger wind gusts of 45 on Wednesday. So it's just something to prepare for. For the rest of the forecast today, we're talking about clouds and a high of 41. Rain and warmer tomorrow. We might see temperatures reach 50 for tomorrow. But with that rain and windy condition, if you have an umbrella, hang on. And then temperatures plummet to 38 for a daytime high on Wednesday. When we come back, we'll take a look at our show topics, things that have gathered in the positive news category over the weekend, as well as sports, and then, of course, this date in history. All that coming up on Litter Media Live. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for more than 4 decades, serving our area and beyond. They've stretched out in recent years to cover parts of western, southwestern Ohio, eastern Ohio, north of Columbus. Whether you're a business looking for a heating, cooling, plumbing contractor, or the residential, they take care of it both. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. News coming up.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Mike Smith and Aaron Glandon back with you on Litter Media Live, our Monday edition. And if you are looking for good news stories, positive news stories for our area, always check out our website, littermedia.com. And in the top section of there if you're trying to find Litter Media Radio, because I still have people, how do I find it? Well, this is just one way that you can find it under Litter Media Radio. It'll take you right to the direct link. Or if you want the app that we are using where you can go mobile, that is the Live 365 app, which is free to download on your phone. Congratulations goes out to 2023 Vinton County Fair Queen, Madeline Kane. Now, we did some figuring here when they brought the whole list of the top 5 out. This image that the Vinton County Fair sent out said that Madeline was the 3rd runner-up. Actually, she was the 2nd runner-up.
Right.
Now, if you were counting Queen and then on down, you could say she was 3rd place. But when you're using the term runner-up, she was actually the 2nd runner-up. So congratulations to her. By the way, the fair queen is Leah Schuhart from Muskingum County. The 2024 schedule of activities for Adena Mansion and Gardens has been released. Events are planned for each month, with the first in 2024 being here in January. And Aaron, I know this is one you'll want to attend. Cross-stitching for adults.
Oh, yeah.
That is on January the 20th at 11 a.m.
How'd you know I was a big cross-stitcher?
Well, I had a vibe. Now, that's this Thursday at 11 a.m. Now,
I have a dentist
You're going to be out for a dentist appointment.
Man.
So if you get out early or you got some time to kill, you might want to check this out. But call Adena Mansion and Gardens for more information about that or any of their other subsequent event schedule. Immerse yourself in an interactive murder mystery at the Wagnalls Memorial Library in Lancaster. That also later this week on Saturday, January the 13th. There will be dancing, appetizers, and a wizardly-themed cocktails. I'm not sure what all would be, but it's a cash bar and more. Solve the mystery in the enchanted walls of the Wagnalls Memorial Library. You can buy your tickets online, but you have to be 18 or over to attend.
Because of those wizardly cocktails?
I would say that's probably the cash bar is the reason you gotta do that. The Blessing Table Community Dinner will be held at Bainbridge Senior Citizen Center. That's at 7 p.m. January the 9th. That is tomorrow evening, 5:30 to 7 p.m. The Page Concert will be held January the 18th. That's between 7 and 10 p.m. at 47 South Paint Street in Chillicothe. And there's some of the entertainment, Joseph Barnes, and Thacker, with special guest Jeff McDonald. That's at 47 South Paint Street in Chillicothe. Some very talented local musicians that have been playing for a lot of years. Also, youth in grades 3rd through 12th grade can learn the recipes of the world in a Zoom virtual cooking series planned each Saturday, January the 20th through February 24th. Locally here, it's going through the Ross County 4-H. Now, the virtual class will be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Time, which is 11 a.m. to noon our time. If you're interested, and here's the catch to this poster that they put out, and they even kind of corrected it themselves. Here it says you can go online in one point, but it actually says you got to email Megan Huffier at mmkron@purdue.edu if you want to participate. So that kind of tells me that Purdue University is putting this thing together. But by the way, classes are $30 for the series. The Community Action Organization of Scioto County's Workforce Solutions, a partner of Ohio Means Jobs, will be hosting its job fair event at the Scioto County Welcome Center on Wednesday, March the 13th from 10 a.m. to noon. Now, if you're looking for a new job opportunity, doesn't matter where you live. Just because it's in Scioto County doesn't mean you can't attend if you're not from Scioto County. It's open to anyone that wants to show up. Now, you can see the information there that you can call for more information, 354-7545. But this event is free to the public and any local businesses that would like to be present at this job fair to talk to potential employees, give that number a call for more information. Now, this is one I know that Aaron will be in on. Artists are being urged to enter the Ohio State Fair poster contest. The contest entry deadline, February 16th, and carries a prize, a grand prize of $1,000 and free daily entry to the 2024 State Fair. So if you come up with a winning poster, you can pick up $1,000 and get you tickets for every day of the fair.
I think I could come up with a winning poster.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you pretty talented on the art?
No.
Have you ever seen Dan Ramey's little sketchings?
No, I haven't.
Dan's kind of surprising. He's not bad. He doesn't do a lot of that we can see around the office as far as leaving his artwork out. But I've seen some of his sketchings, and he's surprisingly talented.
See, I am the opposite of talented when it comes to art like that.
Now that stick man, my stick men don't even look good. So yeah. So
even when I was in school and I would want to doodle, I couldn't doodle, so I would just like make lists of things.
Okay. So if you want to get in on that competition, now's the time. And again, February 16th is the deadline. Coming up, a busy weekend in local, state, and national sports. We'll tell you about it all coming up here on Litter Media Live. We'll also tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 253-8389 for a free quote. They cover Ross and surrounding counties. The big orange dumpsters, oftentimes you see those around. They belong to Scioto Valley Dumpster. Give Carl a call for more information. Sports coming up.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
If you're just tuning in, this is Litter Media Live with Mike Smith and Aaron Glandon. A busy weekend in high school sports. On Saturday, here's some of the winners and losers. SVC girls action. Unioto stayed undefeated with a convincing win over Southeastern. Adena, Piketon, Huntington were all winners. You can run down through the whole list. Boys and girls action. Boys side, Tays Valley stays undefeated in Mid-State League play with a big win over Hamilton Township. A milestone for Briley Kramer of Circleville. We saw him a couple of weeks back in our game of the week. He scored his 1,000th career point in their double overtime win over Fairfield Union. Liberty Union and Bloom Carroll were also winners. The front runner in SVC boys basketball is Zane Trace. They're undefeated in the league, but they have 5 losses, all of them in the non-conference. Miami Trace, another one of those losses. Big day for Jody Ader of Adena. He was the player of the game in the Classic that they were playing over. I think that was at Eastern Brown, a number of games being played, but he had 30 points in Adena's win over Hillsborough, Chillicothe, a winner over Western Brown, and so forth. And you just keep going down the line, you'll see what happened on Friday night. And among the games that we had on Friday night, our game of the week, of course, Eastern beat Western. You can go to our website for the story on that game. And then you were at...
I was at Unioto.
Unioto for Westfall suffered their first conference loss in that ball game.
They did. It was a good game.
So that's what's happened from over the weekend. We've decided our Litter Media Radio Game of the Week this Friday is another SOC battle, and this one will be South Webster at Waverly. We don't have a poster up for that yet, but that will be our game on Friday night. Yours truly and Tom Beard scheduled to be at that one at Waverly's downtown gym. Chillicothe Boys Bowling was the #1 qualifier at the weekend Jim Shaw Baker Challenge at Holiday Lanes in Columbus. The CHS Boys bowled against Whitehall and won the championship in 2 games. The boys finished first out of 22 teams from the Columbus area, averaging 206 for 23 games. They were seniors Nathan Woodbridge, Elliott Brown. You're seeing the picture there with some of these guys on there. Justin Lowry, Austin Sprouse, AJ Jewell, and juniors Solomon Dixon and Ethan Morris. So congratulations. It's bowling season for the high school ranks. For area and statewide teams, that's considered a winter sport. A local softball player recently participated in the National All-State Softball Championship at the Space Coast Complex in Melbourne, Florida. It happened over the Christmas, New Year's holiday. It's Callie Ward, daughter of Zach and Lacey Ward. She was placed on a team with other girls in the 12 under open division from Delaware, Georgia, Maryland, and the state of Ohio. Her team, known as Santa's Little Helpers, were coached by 2024 U.S. Olympic softball player Allie Carta. And if you look in the team picture, Allie's the gal right in the middle on the back row. She's an Olympian on this year's USA softball team. So the team ended the tournament as runner-up with a 6-1 record. I wouldn't be surprised that Callie's biggest thrill was getting to play on a team with an Olympian.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but not bad to be in Florida playing softball this time of year.
Yeah.
Coming up on Monday, August the 5th, we're really looking down the line. Big Time Wrestling from the World Classic Professional Big Time Wrestling is coming to the Ross County Fair. And it says it's, I can't remember them ever having wrestling at the fair. It seemed like they had boxing out there one time 25 or 30 years ago, but that's coming up at the state fair, or the Ross County Fair, on a Monday night this year. And it's a family entertainment. If you like wrestling, you'll love this. There's more information that'll be released in coming months. But mark that on your calendar if you're a wrestling fan, at the county fair, Monday, August the 5th. NFL football, the Bengals wrapped up their regular season. Of course, they're not going to the playoffs, but they took it out on the Browns yesterday, 31-14. I think this might have even been 31-0 at one point before the Browns scored a couple of second-half touchdowns.
Was that their only division win, the Bengals?
It was.
Man.
Only division win this year, and they were like 8-2 or 9-2 against everybody else. Yeah. So at least I believe that is correct.
And the Browns probably weren't playing their starters.
They were not.
Right.
The quarterback, they were setting him. Myles Garrett was out. And as you know, some of these guys are beat up and they're trying to save them up. So the Browns go to the playoffs and they will take on the Houston Texans this coming Saturday. I believe that's a 4:30 kickoff, somewhere around there. I'm thinking that I saw that Peacock was going to do – there's 2 games, I think, on Saturday, and I can't remember which one Peacock's doing, whether it's the afternoon or evening game. But, yes, the Browns in the playoffs this coming Saturday. Turning to college basketball, the Ohio State men lost at Indiana Saturday, 71-65. I did not watch this game, but I thought I heard at one point they had a double-digit lead and lost. It's hard winning at Indiana anyway, but to have that kind of lead and blow it, that's not good. But this team has had difficulties this year holding leads. So the Buckeyes suffer their second Big Ten loss of the season, but as you can see, they're back in action against number 21 Wisconsin, and that's coming up Wednesday night at 8:30. On the pro side, in the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers get by the San Antonio Spurs 117-115. That is a look at sports. When we come back, this date in history, we're taking you out into Indian territory in 1877. That's coming up next on Litter Media Live.
At Rathkamp Financial, we provide wealth management services that may ease clients' fears of financial loss and help them retire comfortably. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
All right, we wrap up with this date in history, and we're taking you back to the year 1877.
Back in your heyday.
Back when I was just a kid. Lakota warrior Crazy Horse, which he was pretty famous, and his men, outnumbered, low on ammunition, and forced to use outdated weapons to defend themselves, fight their final losing battle against the U.S. cavalry in Montana. 6 months earlier, in the Battle of the Little Bighorn, which I think some folks probably heard of that, Crazy Horse and his ally Sitting Bull led their combined forces of Sioux and Cheyenne to a stunning victory over Lieutenant Colonel George Custer and his men. The Native Americans were resisting the U.S. government's efforts to force them back on their reservations. Though he had escaped decisive defeat, Crazy Horse realized that the Army's well-equipped cavalry troops would eventually hunt down and destroy his cold, hungry followers. And then later, in May 6th of 1877, Crazy Horse led 1,100 Native Americans to the Red Cloud Reservation near Nebraska's Fort Robinson, where they surrendered. And I think 5 months later, he was stabbed to death by a U.S. Army guard on that post. So not a good ending for Crazy Horse, which, again, Little Bighorn, he and Sitting Bull, that was probably their most notable victories over the U.S. cavalry. But that was on this date in 1877. As we wrap up, Dan will be back tomorrow. I will be out. Full disclosure, I'm having a wisdom tooth cut out.
It would be really entertaining to have you on.
Live?
Yeah.
Or at least recorded. I had a dentist years ago, kind of old-fashioned, and he always said, if your wisdom tooth, speaking to me as a youth at the time, if your wisdom tooth aren't bothering you, just leave them alone. Well, 50 years later, this one cracks, and I got to have it cut out. So I won't be here tomorrow. I will be heavily sedated. I hope to be back Wednesday, but don't count on anything, because if I'm still a little loopy, I can't drive. Now, the card they gave me said I can't drive for 12 hours, but I was reading something else last night that said that sometimes anesthesia sticks with you for 24 hours. Which, if that happens, I can't drive. So hope to see you back on Wednesday, but if not, Lord willing, Thursday at the latest. And you have a dentist appointment on Thursday, too. Are you having any teeth cut out? Or?
No, I'm not. I've already had all my wisdom teeth removed.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. And you said you did fine.
And I did fine.
You were eating macaroni and cheese that night, you said.
I was. So that afternoon for lunch.
But, of course, you're a young buck, and you're...
That was my junior year of high school. So
young people bounce back faster than us old people. So we'll see.
I had a lot of oatmeal.
See how it goes. I wouldn't, I HIPAA regulations, I gave you probably more than I had to, but if Dan has an idea of bringing a camera in, tell him no. I remember I had a root canal done years ago, and this was under this dentist that I was talking about. He was trying to pull a tooth, and he pulled and pulled and pulled, and my head was just jerking all over the place, and he stopped. And he said, Mike, the roots that you have are so deep, they fused around whatever it is that they hook to underneath there. And he said, I can't, if I keep pulling, I'll pull everything you got in your mouth out. So they sent me to an oral surgeon over near New Holland, a retired U.S. Army oral surgeon. Well, they didn't put me out, but they gave me laughing gas. Now I know why they call it laughing gas. he was just humming during the procedure, and I was just cracking up. I thought that was the funniest thing that there ever was. He had a very pretty assistant. I hope I didn't say anything inappropriate. I don't think I did, because my wife was in the next room. She'd have probably wrung my neck on the way home if that had happened. But those are some of my experiences of being out of it during any kind of procedure. So we'll see. We'll see. If my cheeks puffed up with a cotton ball Wednesday, I probably won't be here. But that's where I'll be tomorrow morning. Until that time, keep checking our website at littermedia.com for the latest news that's coming out. And, of course, every evening, our Litter Media score page. We're only putting final scores on there if we have any updates or things of that nature. That always goes on Litter X, formerly known as Litter Twitter. So, until Dan Ramey and Aaron Glandon can join you at this time tomorrow, from all of us here at Litter Media, have a great Monday, everybody. So long.